Hyvä CMS gives Magento and Adobe Commerce teams a clearer, more visual way to create, reuse, and manage store content, all from inside the Magento admin. In this video, we'll create a simple landing page from scratch using Hyvä CMS. Heading to Content, Pages, and then from here you can manage all CMS pages. You can also see which pages are already using Hyvä CMS and which are still based on Page Builder. To create this page, I'll choose Add Page with Hyvä CMS. The first step is the basic page setup. I'll add the page title and then the URL key. And on the next screen, I can choose whether to start from scratch or use a saved template. Templates are useful for when you have repeatable landing page structures, campaign pages, or content layouts that your team uses often. For this first walkthrough, I'll start from scratch, so you can see how the page is built component by component. This right-hand view is the content structure panel. And as we add components, they'll appear here in order, so the page stays easy to understand and manage. Along the top, there are controls for saving, publishing, previewing, and checking the page status, as well as other additional features which are covered in separate videos, such as SEO configuration, scheduled content, and translations. But for now, let's add the first component. I'll choose a banner component. And for the hero, I'm using a split layout, but as you can see, there are multiple options available. I want an image on one side and text on the other. As I add the headline and the supporting copy, it automatically updates the preview in the Live View panel. I can also add a link in here, and the component has settings to make that easy to configure. For now, this will be a content-only banner with no link. Next, I'm going to update the default image with one that fits this campaign. This image is a bit too long for the banner format, so I'd like to crop it. Because of the image editor included with Hyvä Commerce, I can do this directly from the admin. I'll open the image options and choose Edit Image and select Crop, and then I can choose from the available crop options. For this banner, I want a landscape crop, and then I'll drag the crop area to the part of the image that I want to use, click Save As, give this new version a name, and then replace the original image in the banner with this new version. Now I'll move on to the design settings. Here I can adjust the background colour, text colour, alignment, and layout behaviour. For this example, I'm going to use a warm brown background with a light text to match the image. And I can pull the colour directly from the image using the colour picker tool, which is a nice way to keep the page feeling consistent. I can change the text alignment too, along with several other layout and design options. Now we'll add the main product section. I'm going to use a grid and column component because I want this section to have two parts, a card on the left promoting the bundle image and a product slider on the right. The grid has defaulted to a 3-column layout, but for this page I want the product slider to have more room. So I'm going to change this to a 2-column layout with the product slider taking the larger space. Now I'll add the details for the product card. This card is for the new home gift bundle. I'll add the title, the supporting copy, and then link the card directly to the product using the product option and search. In the advanced settings, I also have the option to add a suffix for section links or campaign tracking tags. And for the CTA, I'll use Shop the Bundle. Next, I'd like to add a product lifestyle image to the card. I can choose whether the full card should be clickable, set the button style, and add different image crops for desktop and mobile. For this version, I'll use the default card layout. And as you can see, the grid is sitting a little bit tight against that banner, so I'm going to add some spaces to improve the layout. Now I don't want a dividing line here, just a bit more space above and below the section. Next, I'll update the product slider. The title is going to be Bundle Includes, and I'm going to search for the products that are included in our product bundle. The product slider can be populated by selecting products directly. It can also work with categories and other filters depending on the page that you're building. Here, direct product selection makes sense because we want it to show the exact items included in our bundle. Once selected, the products appear in the live preview with product images, names, prices, ratings, and add to cart buttons. We now have a campaign section that combines editorial content with real Magento product data. Before publishing, I'll check how this looks on different screen sizes. The preview menu lets me switch between desktop, tablet, mobile, and split views. On mobile, this layout doesn't really work well in 2 columns. We'll want to stack it instead so that the card and the products remain readable. I'll also update the image crop for mobile so it uses a landscape version and doesn't take up too much space. Content teams no longer have to guess how a page behaves on smaller screens. You can check it directly whilst editing. If something needs adjusting, I can go back into the component settings, change the layout, tweak the columns, or provide different images for different devices. Now, as you can see, the status is showing unsaved changes. I'm going to save the page now so I have a record of this version, but I'm not publishing it live just yet. Next, I want to add a testimonial component. Again, there are several configuration and design options available. I'm going to add my quote, the author, and about them. I'd like the design to match the colours used in the main banner at the top of the page. I'll also add an author image. And I can adjust this image using the image editor too. And choose the simple testimonial variant. I want this testimonial to sit directly below the hero banner, so I'm going to drag and drop the component into the right place in the structure panel. This gives my page some nice human context before we get into the products. To finish this page, I'm going to add a short FAQ section using the accordion component. The accordion keeps the page tidy while still giving the customers access to useful information. I can also choose whether any accordion items are open by default. There are design options here too, and I want to change the background to match the rest of the page. I'm also going to duplicate some of the spaces I've been using the duplication tool so that I can add even spacing around the FAQ section too. Next, I'll be adding a heading, and this will be a H3 FAQs. I'd like the text to be centered and use the same background color as the accordion section. And after moving the spacer, the heading looks a little bit squished. But the nice thing here is that because Hyvä Theme supports Tailwind CSS classes, I can add a simple CSS class to give the heading some extra padding. The status indicator shows whether the content has been saved, whether there are unpublished changes, and whether the page is live. That gives editors a clearer sense of where the page is in the workflow. Once the page is ready, I'll save the changes. Now I'll publish the page. Once published, I can use the preview menu to view the published page on the storefront. And here's the finished landing page: hero banner, testimonial, bundle card, product slider, and FAQs. And that's it. The basic flow for creating a landing page from scratch with Hyvä CMS. Take a look at the other videos in this collection for a deeper walkthrough of more advanced features and settings.